The popcorn you're eating has been pissed in. Film at 11.
Where is the line drawn regarding what is acceptable to do against a person you disagree with? I would argue that it's violence. But here's a very convenient loophole. What if you could claim that attacking a person that you disagree with is in fact an act of self-defense? Because violence as an act of self-defense could be considered legitimate, right? You attacked me and I defended myself. Well, Antifa, the people who ironically call themselves anti-fascists while kicking your teeth in, they in fact are using this very excuse. Their brutal violence against those who wish to practice their freedom of speech is validated according to them by your words being violence in itself, or it may lead to violence. Our crime prevention agency wrote in one of their published reports regarding far-left and far-right extremism in Sweden that the far-left consisted of young, active and extremely violent individuals, often joining only because of the violence. Now, the recent protests at UC-Berkeley in the US bears all of the classic trademarks of the far-left and its violent nature. First off, there exists no political literacy behind their actions, and the masked thugs who beat you down if being challenged believe themselves to be fighting back against this extremely vague definition of fascism and white supremacy. Let's be honest here, the far left's violence isn't about fighting fascism, and especially not Nazism. Left-wing anti-Semitism is to this day still very common, and so is the left's incessant defending of Palestine despite terror bombings carried out and aimed specifically at Israeli civilians. Hamas coincidentally also uses the exact same excuses as the far left and calls their attacks for self-defense. These attacks, by the way, have garnered massive support from Muslims all over the globe, but the far left's textbook reply to these accusations of anti-Semitism and supporting terrorism is always something along the line of, "We don't hate Jews individually, just as a nation." Well, despite that rock-solid response, I still think that any Nazi accusations coming from the left feels a bit rich. So the left's indifference to the fact that they're banding together with one of the most hateful, violent and racist ideologies that exist today tells you all you really need to know regarding their sincerity about fighting hatred. A group of aggressive, often young people, politically illiterate yet fanatical in believing themselves to have the right to administer violence as an act of self-defense. These groups of anti-fascists in Europe is the reason to why a lot of European YouTubers wish to remain anonymous. A little while back, some European YouTubers, whose content I really enjoy and consider to be very valuable, got their personal information intentionally made public. This made me very fucking angry, because a lot of people not living in Europe fail to see the severity of the repercussions which could occur by having your mask removed. Because these anti-fascist members of the European far left don't want to know where you live so they can invite you to have a constructive debate. They don't debate. They don't debate fascists. These people only want to know who you are, where you live, so they know through which window they should throw their bricks. And they want to know where you work so they can try to get you fired. These people want to map out where you live, where you work, who you're married to, who your friends are, and then if you're really unlucky, you will get green-lighted on an anti-fascist website and get physically attacked. And they will hide their faces because they don't want to end up on a far-right website. And they know that this is being done because that is what they do to other people. What we've been having in Europe for a long period of time is criminals, not activists, mapping you out and going after you. The Swedish journalist and author Katarina Janouch, who was born in the Czech Republic, recently in an interview in Czech TV spoke her mind about Sweden's mass immigration problem, our high crime rate, and increased Swedish gun ownership. Her words regarding these problems were far from flattering, and the reaction from our mainstream Swedish news media was massive. She was called a racist, a Nazi, a liar, and was personally attacked by journalists from several of our biggest papers. One library even boycotted her books, which of course increased her sales, because boycotts are retarded. But she held the fort and she didn't back down from what she had said, and she was a public person, so she got backed up by a lot of people sharing her views. But imagine if she wasn't. Imagine saying what she said to millions of listeners all over the globe, and then being hung out publicly to get lashed to threads by people who are set on ruining your life. They won't read the facts you've presented. They don't need to. It's all in the newspapers. Spreader of hate speech revealed. But Ms. Janusz revealed the vanity of the left by having the audacity of speaking unfavorably of Sweden regarding topics where she thinks that we have failed, and I agree with her. It was also really bizarre to see leftist news media defend Sweden in any way. Usually they just spit on it to look for other ways to fuck it up. But that is why some people use avatars as masks, because when it inevitably comes off, which it most likely will, you will be able to at least hope for having built a sufficiently strong enough case with facts, and even more facts, so that someone might actually take the time to listen to what you've been saying before someone else tells the listener what to think of you instead. The attacks at UC-Berkeley was aimed at one man only trying to speak his mind, and to really comprehend how evil these people are. Imagine if you didn't have your own security detail. Imagine what these people would do to you only because of your words. They're beating people for wearing a cap or wearing the wrong kind of t-shirt or speaking their mind. And violence, as we all know, has never convinced anybody. It only makes people afraid, and fear results in hate, the one thing that these anti-fascists claims that they want to fight against. So in short, anti-fascists, you fucked up, as usual. To the rest of you, take care of yourself, and I'll talk to you soon.
Condone first-degree murder. Advocate cannibalism. Eat shit. Do it live.
And out come the finished papers in a steady stream.